super rich warned of pitchforks and torches unless they tackle inequality.
Here's a summary of the article.
In the ballroom of the five-star Savoy Hotel on the Strand in central London, the super-rich and their advisors were this week advised that they may soon need to watch out for people with pitchforks and torches, unless they do more to use their fortunes to help the millions struggling with the cost of living crisis. At an investment conference organized by Spears Wealth Management magazine, members of the global elite and their financial teams were told by progressive advisors that there was a real risk of actual insurrection and civil disruption if the yawning inequality gap between rich and poor was allowed to widen as a result of energy and food price hikes hitting squeezed households. Julia Davies, a founding member of Patriotic Millionaires UK, a group of super-rich people calling for the introduction of a wealth tax, warned that global poverty and the climate emergency were going to get so much worse unless the wealthy did more to help poorer citizens. Alexandra Lloyden, the director of partner engagement at the wealth management firm St. James's Place, asked the audience to look around the Savoy's 113-year-old Lancaster ballroom and at the level of wealth collectively in this room. Claire Woodcraft, a fellow at the Centre for Strategic Philanthropy at the University of Cambridge, said wealthy people's philanthropic efforts had a bad reputation because the industry was poorly understood, poorly executed and poorly regulated. There is often too much focus on the passion behind philanthropy and the feel-good factor and not the actual need, said Woodcraft, who works as an advisor to the super-rich. She said many rich people wanted to set up their own educational or health foundations without checking whether there was a need or an existing charity or government-funded program working to address the issue.
This post received a score of 47,000, with an upvote ratio of 87%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
If we leave it to the super rich, I suppose the solution will be making pitchforks and torches more expensive. Imagine the profits.
God, just imagine the shareholder value that will deliver.
What is the least environmentally friendly way to produce them? Asking for a friend.
Make the pitchforks, use the torches to burn them. It's called an ecosystem.
ITA, employees in my country don't want to work, are lazy and mean to me, so I fired them and I built a factory in China where they respect owners' rights.
Don't have to pay out retirement if your workers tend to jump off the roof of the building before they're vested.
American business owners. Write that down. Write that down.
Rich people have been building super bunkers to hide from us. Too bad they won't survive if we poop in their air chutes.
Rich people have a meeting every year to figure out answers to world problems in Davos. A historian named Rutger Bregman showed up and told them, to their faces, from the stage, you need to tax rich people a lot more. An auditorium literally filled with the majority of the richest 1,000 people on earth laughed. They literally laughed in his face when he said that. If they aren't going to listen to the really smart, very polite people they invited to talk to them, then I guess they'll just have to listen a different way.
Don't forget the billionaire summer camp held every year.
Honorable mention goes to the Bohemian Grove in California, a place where the ruling elite plot out the truly heinous stuff while pissing on trees for giggles.
Richard Nixon famously said on tape, among a lot of other offensive but illuminating things, that the Bohemian Grove was the most faggy goddamn thing you could ever imagine. When he attended, which I think, slur aside, is probably true in the sense that these elites gather in secret to do stupid summer camp shit, while the manipulating of world economies and maintenance of the wealth gap happens in public view more often than not.
That bit of trivia is the only thing I like about Bohemian Grove. Everything sounds ominous or just gross.
This is like telling a wildfire, you do know that if you consume all of the oxygen and all of the fuel, you will die too, and expecting it to work.
I mean, telling billionaires that their submarine isn't sound, tested, or regulated isn't enough to stop them.
They had a lifetime of no consequences. How could physics not bend to their will like everything else? So that whole affluenza thing defense lawyers bring up might actually be real after all. Letting them off with no consequences for criminal actions doesn't seem like a good cure for it though, quite the opposite.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.